Hello everyone! Today I'll tell you all about a new cake trend in social media. I'll teach you how to become not just a cake baker, but a bit of a magician too. Now anyone can create a show with their cake simply by watching this video to the end, not just experienced master bakers. And I promise that at the end it will be very impressive. Excited? Well, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about PyroPaper. We'll talk about what it is and how to use it for cake decoration. PyroPaper is a special type of paper that's actively used by magicians, event organizers, theaters, shows, and even restaurants for serving dishes. But using this paper for cake presentation has only recently become a trend. So, what makes it different from regular paper? Thanks to its special composition, PyroPaper burns up in just a second, without leaving any smoke, flames, or ashes. For a visual demonstration, we lit regular office paper and PyroPaper. As you can see, the regular paper didn't burn up completely and left a lot of ash, while the PyroPaper disappeared in just a second without a trace. Now, PyroPaper comes in three types: white, colored, and washed with a neutral pH. The latter is used for what we call culinary magic tricks. It undergoes an additional thorough washing process, which makes it safe for contact with edible items. This is why it's more expensive. So if you're planning on its direct contact with food, use only this kind of PyroPaper. For decor that won't come into direct contact with food, you can use regular white or colored PyroPaper. Note that colored paper, due to its dye content, burns a little slower and may leave a trace. So use a color that will match that of your decor. This way, no trace of the dye will be visible. Now let's get to the fun part. I'll show you three awesome PyroPaper cake decor ideas. Decor number 1. All you need to do is wrap an interesting item like our chocolate heart and set it on fire when you're presenting the cake. We conducted our experiment on a cake covered with butter-based cream cheese frosting. The heart remained unharmed. The paper burned very quickly and slightly melted the edge of the heart, giving it an extra shine. However, there were small traces of ash and a few tiny bits of paper on the frosting when there was contact. Our conclusion was that damp paper either doesn't burn completely or doesn't burn at all. So it's best not to decorate such a cake too far in advance and avoid contact with frosting. For such decor, it's better to use a chocolate velvet, ganache, or fondant covering. By the way, we have a tutorial on ganache on our website. I'll leave a link for you below the video. Another option is to make a circular base out of fondant for the heart, so that the PyroPaper won't touch the frosting. This way you can simply remove it before serving the cake. Decor number 2 involves a topper. When you set fire to the topper, any message, number, or image will suddenly appear, like magic. Making a topper is quite simple. You'll need 2 round molds of different diameters and fondant. Cut out 2 circles and turn one into a ring using a small cutter. PyroPaper is very thin and transparent. The ring will create extra space to prevent the lower layer from showing through. Place the desired image inside and attach the PyroPaper with a few drops of neutral gel. Apply the gel exactly and minimally, since the paper won't burn wherever it is moist. This is something we're already familiar with. You can also draw and write on PyroPaper. If you use markers, make sure they are alcohol-based. We, however, use a plotter printer with print spray. PyroPaper is so thin that a regular printer is unlikely to handle it. But if you decide to give it a try, use only inkjet printers. Laser printers heat up the ink to high temperatures, and your PyroPaper may catch fire right inside the printer. After applying the design, allow the ink to dry. This usually takes 15 to 20 minutes. Now let's create the greatest wedding cake magic trick. This is decor number 3. You can either buy such a spiral stand or make it yourself using aluminum tubing about 6 millimeters in diameter. If your stand is white, you can skip this step because we do this only for aesthetic reasons. But if it isn't, like ours, cut the PyroPaper into long strips and wrap the stand all the way around with no gaps in between. Then cut the strips to create a fringe and wrap them around the stand again. Secure all the details with neutral gel. While we prepare the stand, let me share some safety rules when working with PyroPaper. Remember that no matter how quickly this paper burns, it's still an open flame. So make sure there are no other easily flammable items on your cake or nearby. Be especially cautious with your hair. The paper bursts into flames instantly, and the more of it you have, the larger and higher the flames will be, so use a long lighter. PyroPaper is sold in airtight packages, and you should store it in these packages. You can find storage instructions in the package or online. Our stand is ready, and it looks very elegant and beautiful. It takes very little time to prepare, half an hour and you're done. Then just place it on the cake and light it up. We tested this decoration on cake dummies. We created dummies of the required size and covered them with chocolate velvet, which we sprayed directly onto the dummy. Since such dummies can't keep the cold, the velvet melted in some places. A real cake would be cold, so the velvet wouldn't melt so much. Keep this in mind if you plan to use false tiers. It's better to cover them with frosting or fondant beforehand and then apply the velvet. The layer will be thicker and will retain the cold better. Here are a couple of photos from our clients for whom we made a cake with PyroPaper. They set it on fire, and you can see that the frosting did slightly melt, but insignificantly. So let's be honest, who'd be bothered by that when it creates such an impressive wow effect? PyroPaper is an excellent and trendy solution if you want your cake presentation to be a real show. Try our decor ideas and share in the comments which of those three you like the most. If you come up with your own PyroPaper ideas, please share them too. If you enjoyed this video, visit our school's website for more interesting lessons. You can find a link below the video. Thank you for watching. This was Nastasia and Elegant Sweets. See you later. Bye bye.